2023 is almost over and all BTS members are serving in the military. It is quite impressive that even when they have formally gone on a break as a group, they are still rocking not just the K pop industry, but the global music industry. They have CNN, BBC, and just about every giant news station out there reporting on their enlistment. So, why don't we pause and look back at the 10 ways they are changing and rocking the global music industry in 2023? Hi, so 2023 is almost over. I know that it has been tough for some of you, it has been good for some of you, or probably a mix for most of you. But I hope that you get to make the most out of it for the rest of the year. I will try to do the same. But usually, this is when I try to look back and sort of contemplate, try to see what I am going to learn or what I should have learned this past year. But for this episode, I just want to concentrate on BTS. These are just based on my opinion. I hope that you just enjoy it. I'm not getting paid to say it, but I surely want to see what is yours. What are your favorite moments in 2023 in relation to BTS? Okay, if you do end up liking this video, please consider liking it and also subscribing and hitting that notification button so that you don't miss an episode. You can choose to also just pick what kind of alerts you're going to have, but I hope that you will just choose all of it. And also share the video if you can, because that's really helping my channel. Okay, back to the video. They did things on their own terms. They enlisted early, opting not to use the privilege extended to them for winning the Cultural Merit Award. Some politicians were proposing alternative services so that they can, quote unquote, continue helping the country. While the world was going crazy, some were rushing them to serve, some were stopping them from serving. They went about their plan. They enlisted early, one by one, to make sure they minimize the time Army will be left alone. And they have enough content to leave behind for Army in the short time all 7 of them were in the military. They were firm from the start that they were going to serve, and they put their money where their mouth was. It was clear they will fulfill their obligations. They won't take any kind of shortcut, but they will do it in their own terms. No one was going to use them as pawns. Putting a positive spin on an obligation, I'm shocked that people are shocked when V himself said he was very excited about enlisting after hearing all the fun stories his father told him about his own experience when he enlisted. He said that aside from missing armies, he was fully looking forward to having this experience for himself. Jin and J-Hope have both been very, very proud of their achievements and milestones, emphasizing how much fun they are having. While this has absolutely been an inconvenience in the continuity of their career, they have exerted efforts to paint a positive image of this thing they were forced to do. Returning to the roots of hip-hop, it started with J-Hope's Jack in the Box, continued with RM's Indigo, and culminated with Suga's D-Day. These 3 rappers are showing K-pop fans how rap is supposed to be done. Rap is rooted in the history of African American struggles. It was an expression of anguish, a building of their identity, and a building block of what was going to be a unique African American culture. While African Americans have the right to do what they want with their own art, others have largely abused the genre by using it for nothing but obscenity, glorification of crimes, and senseless verses. Only real rappers, and I mean those who respect the genre and the culture, are doing it right. And it's RM, J-Hope, and Suga that's leading the pack in the K-pop industry. They are showing fans and idols what it means to be a rapper. It isn't about the swag or the brands or the image, it's about the message and about an intelligent fandom who respects the artist enough to understand what they are rapping about. 7 creative and commercial forces. Haters used to battle one supergroup. Now they are battling 7 of the most successful soloists in the world, who are all less than a year in their solo careers. This is what happens when you have artists that have an insatiable desire for excellence, unmatched work ethic, and pure love for the art and their fans. From sold-out concerts to Billboard charts to quality live performances, Jin, Suga, RM, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook are showing the world that they may have paved the way as a group, but that doesn't mean their job is done. They have more roads to pave, and they will continue doing it as a group and as solo artists. Jimin's historic Billboard Hot 100 number 1. Jimin getting to the top of Billboard Hot 100 has been celebrated, but not celebrated enough, and unfortunately was not supported enough. I don't know why there was no US and European promotion. Maybe it was Jimin's decision, maybe it was someone else's. I have no idea. But I believe that had it been given a longer promotion in the West, it would have done even better. There had only been 9 acts to land a number 1 in Billboard Hot 100 with a non-English song. But from 1996 until 2016, there has been no non-English language song that went to the summit of Billboard Hot 100. The drought was broken by Despacito, and it was a great song, and it deserved all the success it got and even more. However, it had to be assisted by Justin Bieber to get to the top. Quite honestly, it didn't have to. The song is great by itself, but that's how hard it was to break the Western mainstream. Spanish is also the second most spoken language in the US, so naturally the barrier is a little lower. It would take another 3 years with BTS's Life Goes On for another non-English song to reach the summit. The next one was My Universe, also by BTS, and this time with Coldplay. Several Latin songs actually made it to the top 10. But the next non-English song to wear the crown was Like Crazy by Jimin. That was with virtually no US promotion. It had an English version, but even that was not promoted in the US. Another thing they missed is the emphasis on the message of the song and how great the chord and melody tension was. Jimin wrote some of the best melodies and a really good message, and it was not emphasized. I think some PR effort would have pushed the song higher. Bad Bunny is massive, and I mean massive here in the US. But he is yet to touch the summit. The last 3 non-English songs to touch the summit of Billboard Hot 100 have all been Korean, and one of them is by Park Jimin. I wish people would realize the enormity of that potential. It is not just another pop song. The chord and melody tension was on another level, and it had an important and well-delivered message that would have highlighted the depth of Asian songs and Asian songwriters. We missed that opportunity. And stop with those massive buying BS. If it is simple to massively buy an album, other acts with supposedly bigger fandoms could have done it easier. Remember that if it's easy to do, everyone would do it. Second best-selling rap album globally. Suga actually holds the record for the second best-selling rap album in the first week of release globally with 1.4 million in pure sales, combining Korean and US sales. Only behind Eminem's The Marshall Matter LP released in 2000 with 1.76 million pure sales. He surpassed Eminem's The Eminem Show, Drake's The Views, released in 2016, and The Massacre by 50 Cent, released in 2015. Suga also became the first rapper to earn $3 million in a single arena concert in US history, with $3.164 million each night at the Forum in Inglewood in May 10 and 11 and 14 this year, 2023. He was recently surpassed by Drake in his Washington, D.C. stop at the Capital One Arena on July 28 and July 29. But also, it's important to note that Big Hit actually suggested a stadium concert to Suga. Suga, being so humble, underestimated himself and actually opted for an arena. He later on mentioned in passing that he should have done a stadium show since the demand was so overwhelming, as he sold out each of his shows within minutes of the release of the tickets. Jungkook showed the world how to put on a show. Everyone and their dog is touring as much as they can after missing out for 2 years because of the pandemic. One thing it highlights is the difference in the quality of their performances. Some are great at singing and some are great at dancing. Some make it appear as if they can do both at the same time. Some make it appear as if grinding and humping is dancing, and some make it appear as if doing vocal acrobats would be singing. Then there's Jungkook. The man has the stability of helium, and he does so while he dances without missing the details of his choreography. There are very few, and I mean very few, artists in history of the global music industry who can do it the way he is doing it. There is this video of him and Usher dancing a part of the choreography, and I saw some trying to put Jungkook down in the comment section. They said he was trying too hard. First, both of them killed it. Usher and Jungkook are both great. Their styles are so markedly different, it's almost impossible to compare. However, I personally prefer Jungkook's execution, and it really boils down to just my taste. There is this part in the choreography, you're seeing it on your screen right now, where Jungkook clearly and cleanly executed it with legs opening and closing. Usher didn't execute that part, and I have no doubt Usher could have done it, but he opted not to. That's his style. It doesn't make the dance look bad, I simply prefer seeing that detail. Another part of it is when Jungkook was moving his head side to side. Usher didn't do it. Again, I have no doubt Usher could have executed that, but he opted not to. That's why I think it boils down to taste. For my taste, and for others like me who are particular about details, Jungkook offers that. No shortcuts. Every step, every note is executed. If I am paying for a concert, which unfortunately Jungkook opted not to do so he can enlist early, I would want every detail. I worked hard for my money, and I did not take any shortcut to earn it. I also don't want shortcuts from people I will be spending it on. Again, it's just preference. Both did it great, and I hope people will just learn how to praise somebody without having to put somebody down. NBA and Bottega Veneta brand ambassadors. This is both funny but also insightful in epic proportions. NBA has had brand ambassadors before, but many of them were from countries with significant population like China and India. South Korea is a very small country. Suga's appointment was obviously to help in the global effort, given that they didn't announce any other brand ambassadors for the season. Bottega Veneta also never had an ambassador before, consciously separating their brand from the chaos of Hollywood, opting to retain the purity and elitism of the design in their brand. Tapping RM to become their very first and still only brand ambassador meant one thing. RM is not just about the glitz and the glamour. There is substance in that man, and brands with just as much of a substance are starting to appreciate it. V's jazz album. V's decision to do jazz R&B album is monumental for K-pop. He used a non-pop genre. I know that a lot of people are going to say that he was able to afford doing it because of his huge fandom, but that is the whole point. Artists are supposed to use their influence to widen the public's horizon. I don't know V personally, and my knowledge of his motivations is limited to what he publicly proclaimed. But I am going to wager and say that V must have known that going jazz in R&B will limit his potential for a new audience. Opting to go this way must mean that he was serious when he said he wanted to try something new, push himself artistically and creatively. And that is a sign of a great and talented artist. And the last one is how they have proven to the global music industry and to the global audience that their priority has always been each other, BTS, and the fans, armies. The new documentary that they are going to release, they have just in the teaser they have expressed how it has really always been about the members. J-Hope, who left for a while, Big Hit, because he wasn't sure whether it was the path that he wanted to take, said that he decided to come back because of BTS. It wasn't because of the company or anything. He just trusted his brothers. And they have expressed that time and time again, that it has always been about the member. When they almost broke up, they decided to stay. And Jin specifically said, F the company, F everybody else. We're just going to stay. We're going to do this because of each other and because of armies. And they have proven that in this enlistment. I'm sure they had other priorities, I'm sure of that, but one of the biggest priorities that they had has always been to leave enough content for armies while they are away. When Jin left, he made sure that he had one video to release every month of when he is gone. J-Hope made sure that he was going to be able to release the physical album of Jack in the Box, and now that the rest of the members and Suga decided to do a concert, a tour, because the rest of the group, the entire group, couldn't do it. And now that the 4 other members enlisted, they promised that there will be enough content to get us through, and at least until Jin is back from his service. So it has such a starking difference from all the other performers, not just in K-pop, but in the global music industry. When others take a hiatus, they just take a hiatus, and that is their prerogative, that is their style, nobody can question them about it. But it's just so and that's what sets BTS different, because they have made sure that even when they know they have to go away and fulfill their obligation to their country, that they will not leave their armies alone. And of course, they made sure that they will still be with each other. They have sent off each other. The only two members that didn't get a complete send off was Jungkook and Jimin, because the rest of the boys were already just went in to enlist. So that, I think, says a lot about who BTS is and the kind of relationship they have with armies. And I do think, and I'm going to create a separate video on that, I think that's where the international music industry is headed. It's now going to be about the fans. It's about the relationship, not just the music itself. That's where the evolution is going to take place. And as I've said, I'm going to create a separate video on that. Okay, so I want to hear yours though. What's your favorite moments in BTS in 2023, or maybe even just in your life? Please share them in the comment section below. I will be reading all of them. I'm getting excited for Christmas. This is one of my favorite seasons or time of the year. Okay, if you ended up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up, like it, and of course subscribe and hit that notification button so that you won't miss a video that we upload. And share the video if you can, because that's really helping my channel. Okay, till next time, I appreciate you guys.